Hey, grace and peace, family and friends. Mwah, mwah. I love you. Well, we are entering in the season of Thanksgiving. And you know what? No matter what your situation looks like, it's important for you to give thanks. I want to give a little quick shout out to the ruler and the author of my faith because I kid you not, the last month or so, month and a half, 2 months have been crazy. Well, okay, let's start here. Um, you know me, if you know me, I'm always trying to do productions through my company, Inspired Productions and Services LLC, that's really going to touch hearts and encourage people during times that they're struggling and going through and things in their family members and kind of uplift by addressing things on the real. Well, you also may know that I'm funding these things through my own pocket on a shoestring budget. And God usually sends people who are willing to come in and help out because they see the vision. Well, it may look glamorous on the end to many people, but there is a significant cost. And that cost usually happens to me. As I was writing and preparing this stuff, I had it was called a granuloma, something that came up right here, and I'll show you a picture. And at first I thought it was a pimple or something, so I began to try to pop it, and it just kept growing and growing. And in like a little over a month, it became the size of what you're going to see here on this picture. And it was crazy. I went to urgent care and stuff, and they said, wow, that's a major blood vessel caused by trauma. And I'm like, trauma? What trauma? That's because your girl here, when trauma happens, I'm so used to just giving things to the Lord and moving on, knowing that He will take care of it in His time, that I didn't even realize. I was like, what trauma did I go through that this happened? I don't know. Well, every night when I would go to sleep and I would turn this way, I would wake up in blood, because that granuloma, anything touch it, it would start bleeding. It was crazy. And we were getting to the point, and they said, well, you have to either go to a oral surgeon, you have to go or to something of that sort. And I called around, and I kept getting these long way in the away from the time appointments. So I was like, oh my gosh, this can't happen. Why? Number one, I was going to work, but it's mass, so I didn't worry about it. When I ate, I took it down, and coworkers, I said, yeah, this is a granuloma. It's not contagious. It's not cancerous, thank God. So I have to have surgery. I said, if it bothers you guys, I'll go eat at my desk. And they were like, girl, go ahead and eat your food, which is really sweet of them. Because some days I would stay at my desk because it can look really gross. And so my uncle, the Bishop Roosevelt Johnson, passed away. Such a tremendous loss. You may know I wrote a book about him, which is on Amazon, called Good News Buster, on the southern path to, I forgot, on the southern path to purpose. That's what it was. And of course, I had to sing at his funeral. I always sang for him when I would visit his church or be on his radio show. And I had this big thing here, and I'm like, how will I sing with this mask? Well, God gave me extra breathing, and I was able to sing. I'll show you that song at the end of this video. So I put the mask on, and I sang. My daughter had the water, so I didn't pass out. And we moved on. But it was on the day that I was finally scheduled for this surgery. And so my mom and my family, we prayed and said, God, give her a close date, because the doctors were saying the next date they had was going to be at minimum at the end of December or something like this. I had waited for a long time to get this thing off. I'm tired. I was tired of waking up to blood on my sheets. Well, right before, let me go back, before my uncle's funeral, I was scheduled to shoot this inspirational thriller that's coming up, which is called The Ghost Within. And I was going to do a cameo on there. And I said, oh my gosh, I have this big thing. Will I go on with a mask? And I said, you know what, God? I'm not going to stop the production. I'm not into like, oh my gosh, I don't look my best. I says, I'm going to do it because it's not about me. It's about the people who are going to watch this short film and whose lives are going to be blessed. So I just went on set and I did my role. And of course I improvised to say that, to give meaning to why this big thing was here. And when I look at the footage, it doesn't even look as bad as it does in person. So I was glad about that. And I went on, I pressed. I'm always pressing through it. And I want to encourage you today to be thankful no matter what it is you're going through. Be thankful and press and continue to press. Don't get depressed and just fall out and stop everything. Because trust me, depression tried to sit on this shoulder, it tried to sit on this shoulder, and it tried to sit on the top of my head. And I said, I felt the weight of it. And I said, God, give me the strength because I'm going to keep pressing forward. So I didn't tell you that right before the filming, I tried to get off because this thing was so big. I tried to pull off some of the edge before. I didn't know it was a major blood vessel at the time. So I dug my hand around 3 a.m. because I wake up and that's when I'm thinking to pull it off. And I'm like, oh, this part's going to come off so it won't look so big. And blood began to gush. I could hold out my hand and blood was gushing everywhere. I was in the house by myself and I started getting lightheaded and I ran and I was trying to take care of it. You know, I went to the sink, put my mouth under the cold water. Long story short, your girl is still here. Moving forward and why I'm so thankful and always smiling. So after the funeral, I pressed on and I sang. They told me when they were going to give me a schedule for the following week to have surgery. I had to have surgery. I had to be sedated. And the day before surgery, I was fixing something in my garage. I was holding up the nail gun to fix a wire. So I had the nail gun and I was holding it at the wrong angle. So as I pressed, holding it up, a nail went through my hand. And I just looked and I saw that nail, that staple go through my hand. And I'm like, I was like, oh my gosh. I pulled it out and I was able to apply first aid. That was nothing but the grace of God, because had my hand not been there, it could have went in my eye. So you see, there's a price to what I do. And it's not just, it's beyond money, because my heart is so intent on giving things that's going to touch lives, that's going to help others to press through their situations. I face a lot of stuff that people have no idea because I'm always smiling, you know, because why am I smiling? Because I know God is able and he's going to bring me through. And if he purposed me to do something, he's going to bring the resources. He's going to protect me and all of the in between. Well, I'm here to say that I got the surgery, bam. So you see, it's still a little swollen. I just had it yesterday, but I'm not taking the pictures like this. Like, you probably seen me recently taking pictures like this because I really didn't want to gross you out with that. It was like, so it's gone and I'm pressing forward. And I want to invite you to plant a seed. And I usually don't do this, but I am preparing this year to do a GoFundMe. I've never done any of that before. I'm going to do a fundraiser for some of the inspirational productions that I have on my table for 2022. And if I've been a blessing to you, or even if this video has been a blessing to you, I want you to sow a seed generously. Be generous during this season. Anybody know me? I'm generous. I give until I'm like empty. Well, I need you. And you can do it on Venmo or Cash App at TSJ Hart. Same as my Instagram name, capital T, capital S, capital J, Hart. And I want you to do something else. I want you to share this video with everyone you know. Can you do that for me, please? Don't be jealous. Do not be jealous. There's people who are jealous, and I'm like, why? Because whenever I can give my family and friends an opportunity to be a part, I do. I'm always giving. So I want you to give back, because it's not about me. It's about the mission to put up material without the profanity, without all the gratuity, and to really touch lives. So this is your girl here. I need you to help. Sow a seed. You don't have to wait till the GoFundMe goes up. You can send it now to Venmo or to Cash App, capital T, capital S, capital J, Heart. Why? Because I care for you. I love you. I love you. I'm looking for your support. I'm looking for you to share whatever you can. Be as generous as you can. I promise you, you won't regret it, and God will bless you. He will bless you for your seed, because it's what you're sowing into is going to really help many, many people. I love you. Bye.